Welcome back to the Kelly Counts Macros podcast. I'm your host, Kelly, your go-to macro coach, helping busy men and women lose weight, build muscle, and actually keep it off for good. If this episode helps you, share it with a friend, leave a review, and make sure you follow along because today we are diving into satiety. And this might be one of the biggest missing pieces in your fat loss journey. What's happening in the Kelly Counts Macros Clubhouse membership? Inside the clubhouse right now, we are locking in discipline. Discipline is our word for 2026 because here's the deal. You can hit your macros all day long, but if your food isn't keeping you full, you are going to struggle. And when you understand what I'm about to teach you today, everything starts to get easier. So let's build on what I just said. Satiety value is the degree to which a food keeps you full per calorie. And this concept was developed by Susanna Holt, and she created something called the satiety index. Now, here's how it works. All foods were compared to white bread, which was given a score of 100. So when you hear these numbers, think higher number equals more filling. Lower number equals less filling. And this is where it really starts to get interesting. So let's talk about the top foods, satiety index. At the very tippy top is boiled potatoes, 323%. Next is fish, 225%. Next is oatmeal, 209%. The following is oranges, 202%. Apples, 197%. Lean beef, 176%. Popcorn, 154%. Eggs, 150%. So these foods are incredibly filling for their calories. Okay. So let's pause right there for a minute. Potatoes are more than 3 times as filling as white bread. And yet, how many people avoid potatoes because they think they're bad? And this is where that diet culture has completely confused people. Potatoes are so satisfying. They are so satiating. I can say that a baked potato bar in our family is almost every single week. And on that baked potato, I put Greek yogurt, I put cheese, I put chives, I'll put leftover chili, I'll put leftover any type of protein that we have, whether it's chicken, I've even put shrimp. So the protein plus the potato is super satisfying. I go back to when I thought a long time ago carbs were bad. Atkins was very popular and it was the high calorie, low carb phase. But here we are. Potatoes are super satisfying. So please do not avoid them. All right, let's take a look at the middle of the satiety index. So rice around 130 to 138%, whole grain breads 150 to 157%, pasta varies, but brown pasta is much higher at 188%. So carbs are not the problem for satiety. The type of carb matters. So let's look at the bottom of the list. These are foods that are not going to keep you full. Croissant, 47%. When we went on vacation this past time, our friend, she got egg salad on a croissant. Now, it was absolutely huge. The croissant was huge, but I did notice that probably without the egg salad, she would have been very hungry just having a croissant. Cake, 65%. Donuts, 68%. You know, I like to pick on my husband a little bit, Ron, when we go on travel volleyball or basketball weekends. He loves to stop and get donuts, which is a real treat. But I will say that I pack the majority of our food And after he has the donuts, an hour and a half later, he's wanting something that I packed. So I definitely agree that donuts do not keep you full. Candy bars, 70%. Peanuts, 84%. A lot of people think that nuts keep them full, 84%. Sugary yogurt, 88%. This is not Greek yogurt, but yogurt with a lot of added sugar. Chips, 91%. So now we know why these are easy to overeat and they don't give you much fullness for the calories. So here's where I'm going to challenge you a little bit. If your day is filled with foods from the bottom of that list and you're telling yourself, I just have no control, I'm addicted to sugar, I can't stop snacking, I always overeat at night, you're setting yourself up to feel that way because your body is trying to get what it needs. Remember the protein leverage concept? If you're not eating enough protein, your body will keep pushing you to eat it until it gets it. So you're not lacking discipline, you're under fueling. Let's talk about something else that showed up in the research. Liquid calories equal low satiety. Juice is less filling than whole fruit. Sugary drinks don't keep you full. Alcohol has very low satiety. Along with all the coffee drinks with the sugar and all the ingredients that taste so yummy. So if you're drinking a lot of your calories, you're going to feel hungrier. Now, let's bring this back to real life because I don't want you walking away thinking, I can never have donuts. I can never have cookies. I can never have cake because you know that that is not the way that I operate. That's not the goal. The goal is just awareness. And here's how to apply this. Here's the takeaway. Build your meals around high satiety foods. Then layer in the foods that you enjoy. Example, instead of snacking on Cheez-Its and Lay's potato chips and Doritos and sweet tarts all night, try a full meal with protein plus potatoes plus veggies. Then plan something like popcorn and or yogurt later. Now you're working with your body, not fighting it. This week's recipe spotlight inside of the Clubhouse membership, which will be opening to the public in June. I open it once a year. So first week of June, it will be open to the public. I only open it once a year. But this week's recipe was the Copycat Chick-fil-A egg white grill sandwich. High protein, 40 grams of protein, super filling, super yummy, and much cheaper than going through the drive-through. And yes, this is inside the Clubhouse cookbook where everything is clickable and done for you all in one spot. No having to go back to Pinterest or TikTok or wherever you think you may have saved the recipe. What we are celebrating in the Shred Plus Train with Kate this week, we are right in the middle of the shred. It goes until June 4th, and the next one will not open until mid to late September. We are celebrating people who have stopped guessing. They have started building their meals with intention. They're increasing their protein and fiber. They are adding volume foods, and they have stopped blaming themselves and feeling guilty when they have the fun foods such as donuts and cake. And everything changed. So like I said, the next shred is mid to late September. I would love to have you join us there. But first up is the yearly opening of the Clubhouse in June. If you take one thing from today, let it be this. You don't need more discipline. You need better food structure. Start asking, is this going to keep me full? Because when you fix satiety, you fix consistency. And we know that that is the magic pill that you need to swallow. Share this episode with someone who feels like they're always hungry. And as always, you're always doing better than you think you are. See you next time.